Champa, the long-lost Austronesian Hindu culture of what is now central Vietnam that had their own customs, language, kingdoms, temple sites, and more. I'm at My Son Sanctuary, where I document their history and interactions with the world.
Many arms.
Alright, My Son, somewhere I've been trying to go for years now. Finally here. The spiritual capital near the actual capital of the Hindu Champa culture. A very strange thing that not a lot of people know about, that doesn't really exist anymore from thousands of years ago. This is my kind of thing. We're doing this finally. 7 years after first researching, thinking about temple ruins and different places like this all around the world. This is one that I've been wanting to discover. I'm doing it now. Here we go. And UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO World Heritage Site number 65 in the world, I believe. 65. I'm gonna get to 100 before you know it, man. 65. So this part of Vietnam, central Vietnam, has 3 UNESCO sites. Hoi An City, Hue capital, and here, My Son Champa temple ruins. Yeah. In My Son, there's another UNESCO site. The temple complex was built here because of the rivers and associated with the god Shiva. There's a funny Korean boy sitting on the ground. Oh, Japanese. You gotta take a little shuttle to get to the temple, so let's take it. India-Vietnam partnership, Hinduism, spread here thousands of years ago, 2,500 and more years ago, 5,000 years, started in India, and they care about this place because of that ancient cultural heritage, which is cool. I like the rivers and streams, the reason this was built here. Let's do it. My Son. Been trying to go here for so long. We're driving along. We got some friends from Osaka on the little cart here. Electric cart, cool. My Son. Wow, look at the hills up there. Whoa. Beautiful nature. They kept it really pristine over here. The United Nations probably appreciates that. No building of roads or houses or anything around the historical site. Far from the Champa capital. My Son is a royal holy city of ancient Champa kingdom. Meaning My Son mountain, meaning the god Shiva. Nice. Alright, so this was like French archaeologists came here in the early 1900s. Dug it out from the jungle, I guess. So first temple complex tower at the end of the 300s AD. That's amazing. The main sanctuary was devoted to Shiva. It's in the form of a Shiva linga. The god Shiva, the creator and destroyer, were merged with the divinity of the king and worshipped at My Son. More than 70 monuments continuously built from the 600s to 1200s AD in a sacred and isolated nature. All right, let's do this. Love historic sites. Let's do this. All right, we got our first ruin. A little bit restored, but made of brick. This was once a holy Hindu temple. Goddess, they said, associated with Brahma. Alright, I'm gonna tell the story of the Champa people soon. Ooh, some people doing actual work over there, archaeological work. Active site. They're doing some work here. Very cool. There's people walking the other direction. I feel like we went the wrong way. Too late now. Nice. My son historical site, a work in progress. They're still working out here. Laying new bricks. Don't really like that, but you can see it's kind of crumbling over. Over restoration. Don't do over restoration. You'll lose your UNESCO status. They love cow in Hinduism, and they also love cool statues. That one damaged, headless. But here's another temple. Yeah, ruins. Fixed up a little bit. They said from the 900s AD. Nice. Whoa. Some writing on there. Champa script. That's kind of cool. Love this kind of stuff. This is pretty cool. This is from year 657. It says 657 or 658. It has this Champa writing on there, and it talks about the order of the kings that came before. 657. That's crazy. The order of the kings, and also about Hinduism, and that some king traveled to India from here and saw the Ganges River, the sacred river, and said it was a great joy to travel there and see that. What in the world? That's crazy. That's so cool. And the writing is so interesting. I wonder if anyone still uses, or I don't know, historians, I guess. Very cool. Has a roof. Go inside here. There's a lot of foreigners here, all kinds of countries. Heard German, Russian, Japanese, Korean. The guy was playing music on his phone. That's how sites go. We're going the wrong direction as everybody else. Just my kind of style. Very cool. Around 1,000 years old, give or take. A little bit older, 1,500 years old. 800 years old. Yeah. It says this is Sanskrit, and it says the king offers this offering, and it will exist to affirm the most powerful king of kings. This offering will exist forever, like the existence of Earth. That's kind of cool, actually. Put things in stone, you know. Lasts for a long time. This was a Shiva Linga. Heard all kinds of languages being spoken. Italian. And that's what UNESCO is all about. That's why UNESCO sites are UNESCO sites. They're meant to be shared among all humanity, every country on Earth. A shared place where anyone can visit, and it's protected and celebrated, and for whatever history it is. People from all kinds of countries here. I've heard Spanish, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Russian. British and Australian English. That's what UNESCO's all about, man. And it's a shame when every now and then a place that's UNESCO can't be visited because of some politics or war or something stupid. All right, let's. All right, this one still has some cool carvings that still exist. Oh, look at those faces. Reminds me of Bali, actually, those faces like that. Bunch of them, wow. Cool. Ooh. Seems to be some music going on. They did say there's a performance. I wonder if they're actual Cham people. Probably not. But I love standing in places like this. Wow. People are still doing incense. This one. You know, these stone structures thousands of years ago were so sacred and amazing for people, really. You know, they put a lot of time and effort. Oh man. Of course it's crazy sunny and hot when we come out here. Every time I go to historic sites. Every other place. Tons of clouds. Oh. When am I going to tell the story of the Cham people? I guess this one's a good one to start. I know history, man. It says on the things that Sanskrit, that is not Sanskrit. That is a unique language, you know, origins probably in some Indian script like Thai or Lao or Khmer language. It's not Sanskrit though, for sure, no. My song, about 10 kilometers from the historic Champa capital, the heartland of the Champa homeland, where several temples are. It is often compared with other historical temple complexes in Southeast Asia, such as Borobudur in Java, Indonesia, which I've been to, and Angkor Wat, Cambodia, which I've been to. I love things like this, and I've been wanting to come here. All right, my song is perhaps the longest inhabited archaeological site in mainland Southeast Asia. Sadly, some of it damaged by American bombing in a single week of the Vietnam War. We're like, what in the world? Come on. Why? Viet Cong was hiding out over here or something. And they had some battles near here. They damaged some of the... That's why they're working on it? Oh, yeah. All right, anyways, built continuously from the 300s to the 1200s AD, but some could be from earlier. 192 AD, it was the heart of the ancestral homeland of the ruling Dwa clan, which unified the Cham clans and established the kingdom of Champapura, Sanskrit for the city of the Cham people. Yeah, Champapura. So yeah, all these things are Hindu. Why? Heavily influenced by India during the Southeast Asia Indianization period. Oh, careful on these ancient old stone steps. So just like I've seen in many, many, many countries, and not really thought about much anymore, but you know, you did see a sign with the India flag and the Vietnam flag, how they work together to preserve the site. So yes, like the Khmer, the Thai, the people in Java, the people in many, many places. Bali now really is the only Hindu place left in Southeast Asia, strangely. A lot of Buddhists for sure, but that's a different kind of thing. Both from India though. Nepal, Buddhism. Okay. They were devoutly Hindu. Many temples were built to the Hindu divinities such as Krishna and Vishnu, but above all, Shiva. Shivite Hinduism remained the established state religion. Shiva. Alright, maybe I'll find a for sure Shiva place to talk more about that, but or bomb hole. I'm so focused on American Vietnam War history while here, losing focus on the ancient stuff that I like, but that's still crazy. Bombs landed there. There must have been some VC hiding out in the temple ruins. God, man, that's so crazy. Very cool area. This is a temple complex that was buried. So the restoration work, I just saw a sign for it, was to take this out of that state to find what was underneath here. Long lost and forgotten, man. Very crazy, actually. French guy found it. But yeah, as you can see here, with the help of India, UNESCO, and Vietnam was once like that, now like that. Look at that. Cool. All right. Another major temple complex here. Hi, Helma. Talking to some people from Taiwan, Germany. It's all kinds of tourists here, man. All right. Oh, what is that I see? A Shiva Linga. All right, perfect to tell the next part of the story. Cool designs on those pillars. All right. A Shiva Linga. Shivite Hinduism was the state religion. Oh, my old friend Shiva, still adored to this day. And many people's favorite deity in places I've been, like Nepal, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, India, and Bali. My yoga retreat in the hills above Kathmandu. Love that place. Niru homestay. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Dele, 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 Shambho, Shiva. She used to sing that every day going into, well, not going in. When we were getting the vegetarian food, she would cook up, this nice lady. Yeah, so, you know, Jai Shambho, they say in Nepal. Jai Shiva. Basically what it means. So lots of people love Shiva to this day. Look at that cool stuff. All right, so the Viet clans and powers of the North and Red River Valley, Chinese and the Khmer, all three had interactions with the Champa, neighboring powers. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. It's really cool. Let's check out this side, man. Yeah, hold on. Old friend Shiva. There we go. This one, same temple. Definitely Shiva Linga, which symbolizes his, well, you know, male parts. Another story of this Shiva Linga, that's okay though. So this one is from the years 875 to 915 AD. That's crazy. Indrapura dynasty. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh yeah, Shiva, 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 Jumbo, what's up? Nehru Homestay. Rest in peace to your grandfather for the kids and father of the main yoga guy. It was sad to hear that, man. But wow, look at that. Hinduism, Vietnam. What is now Vietnam? Some more cool stuff over here. Very cool, man. People still leave incense from time to time. Those look pretty old though. But now, the nation of Vietnam, the ethnicity of the Red River Valley, sometimes would stretch down here a bit. We'll more on that later, but you know, also that area and the Vietnamese were off, on again and off again, sometimes dominated by China, and it was, you know, the battles and the Viet dominations by China is what, around this time when this existed, is what allowed Champa to thrive. '800s AD, the temple, crazy. Cool. The Champs, an Austronesian people more related to the Taiwanese, Aboriginals, Filipinos, Indonesians, and more. People of Borneo, Austronesians. It's a fascinating story. Something wow, there's some crazy carvings in there. Something I've learned all about. So the Cham people were Austronesian. There's another Shiva Linga. Wow, this is pretty crazy. Go inside here. All right. So they were seafaring people moving back and forth from like Borneo and the Indonesian islands, it's thought, originally, you know, over 2,000 years ago. The origins of the Cham people before settling down in this region. Whew. Man, it's hot. So one day, the days I go to the beach, it's cloudy and like not that nice. The day I come out to the historical places, it's not a cloud in the sky to walk around in the heat. Crazy. Anyways, the Cham people ended up coming to these areas, what is now central Vietnam, and this was their ancestral homeland. Sacred mountain there. That's what this area is named after, and the sacred springs. That's why it was a religious site. It all has to do with nature. I like that. Collaboration effort. Sponsored by the Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs, Embassy of India, Hanoi, in collaboration with the Government of Vietnam, Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism, Management Board of My Son Cultural Heritage Site. Yeah, I like it. All right, and this one over there, Italy helped them do like GIS work, GIS, Geographic Information Systems work to figure out what was at the site. Very cool. Oh. Colors like this. I saw something just like this in Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu, India. The two in the middle of the temple and on the other side. Very interesting. It's all symbolic, the shape and design and the way things are facing, east, west, north, or south. Very cool. Stepping on ancient ground. You could tell though, big restoration project. New bricks for sure. Last, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. The original brick. So a lot of kind of piecing things back together. Unfortunately, forgotten in time. Probably working with UNESCO to make sure it's done correctly. But still, I like it. It's cool, man. Alright, so yeah, that kind of shows what happened. Now, before put some things back in place. India knows how Hindu temples are supposed to be, so that's a good partner to work on restoring things. And yeah, cool. All right, one more big site over there. The arms of Hinduism. I'm surprised I haven't seen a Ganesha statue, an elephant statue. Maybe there's one in here. Oh, some American bombs. There's an elephant. I don't know if it's Ganesha though. I don't think so. But wow, that's really cool. As you can see here, the gems were master craftsmen in their design. And here's some of the stuff. Some other things are in the Da Nang Museum of Cham Culture. Maybe we'll go there one day. But these temples and everything are really cool. Similar feeling with the design setup is in India, Angkor Wat in Cambodia, Java, Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia. Really crazy. And yes, site of some American military stuff, 1960s. There's the bombshell casings. A little bit different looking script than the other one. That's really interesting. I like these little rooms where they display the things that they found. Very cool. We helped them out. Deutschland, Germany. So it's a collaborative effort here. The United Nations. India, Italy, and Germany have now seen with signs about how they helped fix this site up and organize everything. Wow, all right, look at this, man. Woo! The pillars, the rooms, oh man, awesome. Let's tell the story walking around this main temple complex area. So, in the 600s AD, this area, way back, 600s AD, was actually sacked by the Chinese Tang Dynasty. Tang Dynasty came all the way down in this region and battled the Chams and sacked their capital city, and probably saw this stuff, or what was here at that point. I don't think, maybe this was built a little bit later, but so then after that, lizard. The Chams had to pay tribute to the Chinese, as the border of the Tang Dynasty was not far from here, as northern Vietnam was part of that Chinese empire. Whoa, this is crazy. Another Shiva Linga. This one for sure. Wow, look at that writing. So distinct still. Xin chao. They're taking a funny picture over there. All right. So the Chinese. That was one. Ooh, excuse me. That was one culture. other than India influenced the ancient times of this region. Oh, you could go inside here. Whoa. Whoa. So we have India, China, Indianization of the people here created this Hindu society, and China was nearby, the other big dog in the region. Oh, look at that, that's cool. More events in Champa history are numerous. Different kings broiling out here in this story. Elephants, cool. All right, so more events in Champa history are numerous. Different kings, dealings, trade, tributes, wars. And we talked about the Chinese a little bit, but that's the oldest, one of the oldest recordings of the Cham people. 600 ADs by the Tang Dynasty. You know, the Chinese wrote down lots of things. But what this place often reminds people of, Angkor Wat. Let's talk about the Khmer, Cambodia. It's notably the Khmer of modern Cambodia, as they grew powerful, taking over most all of the Southeast Asia Peninsula down to the Mekong Delta and South Vietnam, but not the Cham. Usually the Champa here were holdouts to all these invasions and wars from different sides, controlling their own territory. 1780. That's crazy. What? 1780. Other than the on and off again ruled Viets in North Vietnam. So as the grand temples like these were crafted around the same time, the grand temples and capital of the Khmer, Angkor Wat, were being built. You know, they probably looked at themselves as Hindu competitors and wanted to build temples bigger and grander, and that was probably a big motivation to build these things. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, there's some tourists from India that come here. Must be interesting for them. So a tenuous relationship the Khmer had with the Cham to the east. The conflict between the Khmer and Cham was a long-standing one, with both sides raiding and attacking each other's territories throughout the 10th to 13th centuries. So in retaliation, a big famous event in Cham history, retaliation for 1170. All right, I'm gonna do some of this in the shade here because that's pretty crazy. It said your device is too hot to be taking video. So walking around in there, had to cool it down at this fan. What in the world? All right, so talking about all these wars and horrible things. Anyways, the Chams from here went down over to the Mekong River in retaliation for their capital near here getting sacked by the Khmer. Went up the Mekong River into Tonle Sap Lake. I've been there before in Cambodia, and actually sacked Angkor Wat and killed the king of the Khmer. 1177 AD, which in some ways people think they never really came back from, the Khmer in Cambodia, which then powers like Sukhothai and then Ayutthaya started sprouting up in Thailand. So then, in relations with the Chinese, they mentioned the Champa people throughout history. While Champa was heavily influenced by Indian culture, particularly Hinduism, it also experienced Chinese cultural influences as well, especially in its early stages. Archaeological evidence suggests early Champa had interactions with Han Dynasty China, including the presence of Chinese artifacts and inscriptions. Champa sent regular tribute missions to China. We talked about earlier, particularly I can't talk, during the Tang and Song dynasties. The major connection came during the late 900s to 1000s AD. Song dynasty, Champa sent regular tribute missions to China. Particularly, I already said that, sorry. Champa Kingdom, located in what is now central Vietnam, introduced a fast maturing rice variety to China that's still popular to this day. As a tribute gift to the Song court. Also, the Cham trading with China got them at odds with their anti-Chinese Viet neighbors. More on them later. In a few battles with Vietnamese polities, the Champa actually fled into Song China when things were going bad. So they were good friends with the Song dynasty. Of course, we have to talk about the Vietnamese people, which these lands are now. Wow, that pillar's crazy. Don't mean to get all modern political, but you know, you hear all these things about this on stolen land and stuff about, you know, colonization and different situations of the world. You know, Palestine and, you know, Native Americans on American, you know, Mexican immigration, stolen land. You can't be illegal on stolen land and all this stuff, all these things people talk about. Well, isn't that subjective sometimes? This, the Champa lands, ancient Champa lands, is now solidly Vietnamese and long forgotten culture. Actually, now they're just beginning to, you know, as you see, work on these places and have tourists come to them. But so yeah, just a thought I had there. You don't see people complaining about that, right? I don't know. Real subjective of what people aim their anger at and issues with certain things, when that kind of thing's been happening all over time and history forever. These are the ancient Champa Hindu Austronesian people, ancestral homelands documented by the Chinese Han Tang dynasties, man. Thousands of years ago, but no longer. So what exactly happened? The Vietnamese ethnicity for the Red River Delta of modern Hanoi that now dominates the ancient Champa lands. Sometimes there were friendly relations, sometimes not. A major collaboration came when the Mongol threat came down to these lands. The two teamed up, and the Mongols, through disease, heat, humidity, and defeat, never conquered lands to the south. In the 1240s, 1300s, after the Song dynasty fell. Well, this is a cool one. Pretty much original. That's why they have this thing holding it up. Oh man, it's hot. Just like the Mongols. The Chinese probably felt coming here. All right. So, Da Viet, Great Vietnam. Da Viet Vietnam. The history of Champa-Vietnam relations is a long and complex one, marked by both conflict and cultural exchange. Sometimes friendly, like when the Champa were able to take on the Khmer and Mongols I just mentioned, or the threat. The two kingdoms engaged in numerous wars, though, and raids, particularly in the 10th to 15th centuries, 900s to 1400s AD. Champa frequently raided the southern coast of Da Viet, and in turn, the Vietnamese launched military expeditions against Champa. 1471 marked a huge defining year. Whew, that pillar's crazy. It's up before my phone explodes and my head explodes up here. So, the Champa weakened after the 1200s, 1300s AD, as did the Khmer. After the Khmer weakened, basically because of their wars with Champa, and then Champa weakened because of the other powers around them, like the Vietnamese. So 1471 was a huge moment in Champa history. Viet invasions take over much of their lands, and the Cham people around that time, interestingly, converted to Islam. There's still Cham people that are scattered in the winds, different areas of not really Vietnam much anymore, but I actually saw some in Cambodia at one time. Cambodia, Muslim Cham community there. Don't know the story there, but it's interesting. Like the Indonesians converting to Islam, so did the Cham. But both were Hindu origin. Anyways, 1400s, late 1400s, Vietnam took over this area. And then, this isn't a Vietnamese history video, but definitely by the 1800s, the Nguyen dynasty era with the capital nearby, Hue, extinguished the Cham forever. There was a few clans still holding on here and there that had their lands that they controlled, but they were no longer a country. The head literally chopped off. Now an ethnic minority in different places, scattered around Southeast Asia, even I think in U.S. different countries, Western countries they moved to. And yeah, this was their most sacred place, Champa. Very cool to walk around here. All right. Whew. It's like 45 degrees with the sun and humidity. It's crazy. I gotta get out of the sun, need some water. Let's go back to our guy here and say thank you, Cham language. Does anyone speak Cham anymore? I wonder what that sounded like. Walking through history here. Here, they're about to do a performance. Let's see the sun. There we go. That's how it used to look here. The plants growing on the top. I prefer that. That looks cooler. Like another case of over restoration, I would say. Or, UNESCO takes away status sometimes because like that looks way better. I guess maybe it was at risk of falling down or something. But anyways, as I was saying that, we're about to do a Champa performance here. And I was saying that, the culture is gone. Obviously it's not. The people, probably a good majority of modern Vietnamese through the centuries are part Cham ancestry that got absorbed into the modern Vietnam. Alright, so you can see it behind me. Looks similar to those photos, but they cleaned some stuff up for sure. So yeah, through intermarriage and over the centuries, for sure, the Chams and Vietnamese intermingled, and there's definitely, like, probably them there. I don't know if that's just a performance, but there's definitely somewhere some Cham Hindu people, their ancient ancestors, doing stuff like that somewhere in the world. A lot of them converted to Islam, like I said, maybe to get some alliance with other Muslims to save them from all the threats they are facing. That's happened many times in history. But it's one of those cultures, one of those things that's like very mysterious, lost through time. 1800s, early 1800s, the Nguyen really made an effort to, dare I say it, do a cultural and probably literal, if you can hear it through the music, genocide of the Cham people. Just how it goes, how things go all throughout history, where there's an enemy that just can't be pacified and can't figure out a solution. Happened here too. My son. Jai Shri Ram. tourists from India here. Probably interesting for them. The older people, they really like looking at the temple ruins. I was trying to think of that earlier. That's what they say for Shiva. Jai Shiram. Shiva temple. Jai Bolaki. And Jai Shambho. Jai Ram. Cool. Hindu history and being visited by modern Hindus. Girls coming up. What's about to happen? I was just saying that, you know, guys, that guy sitting there, the guy playing the erhu are definitely Cham people. I was just saying, they're here still, and you can see the Hindu elements in those dances, like the hands like this. I used to see on statues all over the. Whoa! Oh, I thought he was really crying. That guy. He doesn't want a bike. I was making. They're doing this. I've seen on all these Hindu in India statues, the hands like that, the women, and also the multi-armed part of the dance. Ah, there's another thing up here we gotta see. Ah, yeah. This temple and area I was gonna talk about French and American times. Oh, it looks some conservation work again. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. See, I kind of prefer that over that. Digging it out though, you know, to make sure it's not in a mound of dirt is nice, but I don't know. Don't want to lose your UNESCO status. That happens. But okay, I was going to talk about the French and the Americans, of course, a bit. It was a French archaeologist that found this place. It was lost to time and history, kind of like Angkor Wat was, same kind of thing. And this temple complex is said on the sign over there was, or the temple area, mostly destroyed by American bombs. What was left of them. And yeah, you know, the new brick. I wish I came here before they did restorations a little bit. Not a huge fan of over restoring. Kind of looked cooler. Damn it. I don't know why they do that sometimes. Over restoration a bit. The old pictures look cooler. Missed out. I wonder when that was. I think it said 2020 on the thing. Oh well. Better than being lost in time and gone forever, I guess. So, my son. Me son. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Me son. Named after that mountain. Why the temple complex? Ancient society needs good farming. Still farming the old lands out here, these ladies. Crazy. Good soil. They're weeding. Okay, got it. But she's growing something here on the ancient archaeological site, UNESCO. Finding something that I saw on one of the maps, and I went by this temple early. I didn't see that earlier. The multi-headed goddess. Oh man, I learned in India what that means. I forget right now, but I learned in India what this meant. 3 faces. It's like, I forget. One you show your friends and family, one you show to the world, and your secret self, something like that. No, that's not the Indian meaning. That's some other culture, but I didn't see that earlier. Cool. I remember, but I googled it. It's the 3 faces represent the 3, an avatar, Dattatreya, something like that, of the 3 main gods: Vishnu, Brahman, and Shiva. The 3 faces. All right, and there's something else I learned in India, man. It was some goddess with 3 faces like that. I can't remember. India was a time, so you know. Been complaining how hot it is. These people have been working all day. Your UNESCO dollars at work, maybe. Vietnamese excavations going on. Very cool. Look at those ladies right there. Crazy. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, you should be qualified to do this kind of stuff. So, someone's probably watching them, an archaeologist. Get to see one before the over restoration occurs. And this is what I was looking for to come back and see, and that's why I couldn't see it earlier. No, don't over restore it. All right, right over there, right here, but right around here somewhere on the map, it said there's 3 American bomb spots. I mean, back to where it began, first ruins of the day. I can't find where they're talking about. That's a whole group though that they're restoring. And oh man, don't over restore it. They already are. But there's 3 spots around here where American bombs landed. It's on the map, so you think it would be like noticeable, like a huge hole. But why am I looking for something like that? I don't know. It's just, how could they bomb it? Why? Oh, jeez. Probably didn't know it was here, maybe. I'm gonna ask him. Might be it. Big indent in the ground, huge bomb fell here. It did have 2 right next to each other. There's one and there's one. And that other one back there, that's what I think. This is them. 1 and 1. American massive bombs dropped from a plane on a historical site.
I have a suggestion.
God.
I have a suggestion. I would not come here during summer. It is too hot. But you can get lots of photos without people in them, even though it's very crowded because it's so big.
And for people that got to come here from the time it was first ever dug out in the French colonial period and before the new restorations, which some are good, but I think, you know, you guys were lucky in my opinion. They cleaned it up too much. It looks, I don't know why they do that to places, but oh, it's okay. Still awesome history of the Champa. Long video like always, and I'm leaving now. We're leaving. Woo! People from all over the world enjoying this place. Family from Germany on our tram there. I didn't film the tram, dang it, but you know, I hate on restorations. I want to stop hating. If something's about to fall into a pile of bricks and crumble down, or is basically not even visible, then yeah, but like, I saw the old pictures. They used to have like this cool like moss on it, and look, like plants were growing out of it because it was so old. The temple ruins. They cleared all that off. They cleaned it all up. Mostly. Wow, there's cool fish down there in that river. Whoa. All right, where was I? Anyways,
Moss is growing out.
still cool. UNESCO site number 65 worldwide. U64. Yeah, baby. There's a little museum, ruins in Southeast Asia. I've been to a bunch of those, 2 of them. And I think all of those, maybe not all, but I've been to Prambanan. Not that. Oh yeah, I have been to that. I don't know. It's hard to remember now. Bagan in Myanmar, I have not been to. I've been to Borobudur, Angkor. Yeah, saw that stuff I was talking about. Maritime trading between Champa and ancient states in Asia. There's connection with India, connection with China, and more. Yes. Oh, these are the different centuries. Soup from this region, Mi Kwang. Mi Kwang. The ladies were trying to teach me how to say it. Mi Kwang. Kwang. Not Kwang. 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 Mi Kwang. I got it. Okay. So I got the chicken version. Got some thick noodles. It's a good one, man. Successful History Day always gets a cheer. Spicy sauce, huh? A little bit. This is a tourist place. I love spicy food. I've done like this before in Phu Quoc one time. Beeswax I'm gonna try. Ooh. And also Pink Army wine. They got a bunch of weird forest guava, forest banana. You like that one? Oh, there's actual wasp in there. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the lady, she, in Phu Quoc I go to, she has all kinds of animals inside. These here are too funny. And they had some interesting drinks here that you just looked at.
Well, what did you
Wasp. I did not get that. I got beeswax. Ooh, that does taste like honey, but
Strong.
very strong, yeah.
It's not
and
wine.
Pink Army wine.
Okay, let's see what that is.
Ooh. Oh, what is that? I forget the fruit, but that's not. And she was going. She wants me to get stung by a wasp. And they say she's the best beer and wine drinker in the restaurant. This funny lady. She's not here anymore. She went away. That's something. You give it a try. Speak great English here. That my friend, the lady, she keeps disappearing. That's all right. Sim. So this is directly made and gathered from the forest out there to make the wine. She does it herself. The lady that works here in the Mison forest. And I remember the lady in Phu Quoc that had this kind of stuff, and I sat with her and talked about how she made it and stuff. A long time ago I was there. Forest Sim. And it's good for your stomach, good for your health, good for a strong man, and many other beliefs. That's probably true. Sim, Forest Sim. I like it. Very cool. Thank you. Ooh, these ladies were so cool in this place. They speak great English. This lady's so funny. They're cracking up at me trying to speak Vietnamese, man. The two girls speak great English. They're asking about California. All right, we're going now. Mi son, come on, Ban. Come on, Ban. Come on. We're talking about all the Vietnamese in California. One lady was talking smack about me. I think maybe saying I smell bad. They were so cool there. I love the attitude like that. When people are nice and chill like that, that's so cool. Mi son restaurant. Beautiful scenery over here too. All right, that's the end of the video. Tried some wine, tried some local food. Quang, quang, meat, quang. They told me to say it. Oh, what an adventure. Bye-bye, land of the Champa.